Hello and welcome to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten Horror Movies. Before we get started, what are we drinking today, Adam?
Today we are drinking Wisberg Sunrise. It is a German wheat beer, Hefeweizen. So if you want the recipe, get the link above our heads there.
Today we're going to be continuing our Halloween-themed episodes. We are going to count down the top 10 reasons why we think Halloween 3 is probably one of the best Halloween-themed horror movies, I would say. We did do a review on it last year.
Yeah.
And if you want to click the link above. Yeah. We just feel that this movie never ever gets its due.
Pains me, and it pisses me off so much when people say, oh, that one sucks. It doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not supposed to.
That's the thing, yeah. The reasons why people hate it don't make sense, really.
Yeah.
It's your own personal view that you just don't like the movie. Okay, fine. But you have to appreciate all the best stuff about this movie.
So here they are. Here's 10 reasons why Halloween 3 is great.
The story. It's a great Halloween-themed story.
It's a very original story, too.
Yes.
Like, talk about a neat, cool idea.
The whole story, it meshes new technology of the day with, like, this ancient technology.
Yeah, and it is about Halloween. The main bad guy is basically fulfilling, like, prophecies from the original concept of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's more about Halloween than the original Halloween is. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The music. Come on, done by the man himself, John Carpenter, right?
It's probably one of the best John Carpenter scores.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Yeah. I love it. I love the beginning of this movie. It has the pumpkin, right? Yeah. And, of course, it's related to the other two Halloween movies.
Where it starts off with the pumpkin in the credits, yeah.
And they use, the technology, like I had mentioned, right? And it flashes, and that relates to the general movie, like what's going to happen. And come on! It's just wicked. I mean,
it suits the movie so well.
Oh, yeah.
It's so memorable. It's just fucking great.
Atmosphere, the overall atmosphere of this movie. You could never have atmosphere like this without music like that, right?
Yeah. It's a different story arc, different world, but it still fits in as far as the look and the feel and the atmosphere and the general vibe fits into the first two quite easily.
It's a continuation of the theme, Halloween, and you definitely get that foreboding sense, just like the Halloween movies. You know?
All the same people are involved, even though it's not directed by John Carpenter. It's still that family of people who worked on the first and the second. It still feels like a John Carpenter directed movie, even though it's not.
The villain in this movie takes us to another point.
Yeah.
He's one of the most maniacal and horrible villains. Hatched an idea in his head to kill millions of children / like their parents, people in households and stuff across America.
All at the same time, all on Halloween.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and
it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And not only is the villain good, like the character, but the actor who plays him is great. He does such a good job, even though he's a fucking asshole. He's got this awful idea in his head. He's got so much charm where it's kind of hard to hate the guy. Tom Atkins, the man.
Yeah.
The staple horror movie everyday man.
Working class.
Yeah,
you know?
He's so good at just being the everyday man hero. And he gets with the ladies.
Yeah. Which is, it's something that we think is funny. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else really would.
But he's old and not the best looking and not really in shape.
Yeah,
he always gets all the good looking young chicks.
And super easy, too.
Quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Like in The Fog. Like he's just in bed with Jamie Lee Curtis reading that book. You know?
It's like, man, he works fast, I gotta say.
Next on our list of things that make Halloween 3 great is, well, the effects.
Oh, yeah.
The practical effects are great in this movie. There's a few scenes which are just like to stand out as being really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the scene where the woman's playing with the microchip there and she gets her face blasted with the laser. Like, that looks amazing.
Exactly.
And it looks horrifying, too. Robot guys, like, when they get torn open and killed, it looks really cool. And...
Right. Pulls the guy's nose.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good effect. Yeah, when he breaks the guy's nose, like...
Through his eyes.
Through his eyes, like, yeah, it's... Ooh. The ending of this movie is one of the hallmarks of it. It is one of the best cliffhanger endings in horror history, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it almost didn't happen that way either, right? Because the execs and all that actually wanted a different ending, and they left it up to Tommy Lee Wallace to decide to leave that in or to not, and he just kind of decided to leave it in.
Open-ended, yeah.
Thank God that he did, because it probably would have changed how you view the rest of the movie, right?
Yeah. I'm sure if they were to do more movies like they had planned, anthology type, one movie a year, different story, they probably all could have and maybe should have ended with cliffhangers.
Yeah, exactly, because then, like in your mind, right, it's like, oh, well, this could be now. That leads us to another point of this movie, which is that it's actually scary. Not just the scenes that you see, but it's the stuff that you don't see.
It's the concept of the movie that's scary, you know.
The stuff in your mind, right?
Yeah. And visually, there's things happen that's scary. Like when I was a kid, watching the scene where the kid he's sitting watching and doing the test run, and all the snake and everything comes out of his mouth. Like that terrified me when I was a kid, and it really made my stomach turn. Like, that is a terrifying fucking scene.
Yeah, and you even see like the kid's mouth open, like as the snake comes out. It's like, holy, CGI could never do that, right?
Yeah. Just talked about the cliffhanger ending. Well, that's a scary ending.
Yep.
Like the thought of that is terrifying, you know.
They tried something new. They went in a different direction with this movie, right?
You can't cut them down for that. You know?
Exactly.
They didn't want to do the same slasher formula thing, and you can't knock them for that.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of that is from John Carpenter, right? He didn't want he really didn't even want to do the second Halloween, like anything to do with it, but he caved a bit.
And I think it worked. I thought it was a great movie. And a lot of people have said, you know, it just shouldn't have been called Halloween 3. If they didn't call the movie Halloween 3, it probably would have been a lot more successful.
Season of the Witch.
Yeah, just call it Season of the Witch. And I'm sure the movie would not have been shit on nearly as much. They would continue every year. Halloween 3 is a movie about this. And then Halloween 4 would have been a completely different story, but take place on Halloween, you know? And every year is a different movie that takes place on Halloween, about Halloween, but a different world almost, you know?
Even after the next one, say number 4, people probably would have gone back to the third and say, you know what? Well, now that there isn't Michael Myers anymore and it's a different story, number 3 is good.
Yeah.
Right? Not wishing, oh, I wish Michael Myers was back. Yeah. He's finished. Forget about him.
That brings us to the last point, the 10th point on our list of reasons why Halloween 3 is great. 8
more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Now, if it's coming towards Halloween time and you don't have that song stuck in your head, then you are crazy.
I've struggled to fall asleep with that damn thing in my head, you know?
People who I'm sure maybe don't even like the movie still know that song and still probably get excited about Halloween when they hear that song.
It does get annoying, but it gets annoying on purpose.
In a good way, yeah.
In a good way.
In a good
Even
way.
Tom Atkins is getting all pissed off. He's like, oh, this commercial. It changes the station, you know?
So there you go. There's 10 reasons why Halloween 3 is great. Haven't seen it? Please watch it. If you saw it in the past and disregarded it and didn't like it because Michael Myers wasn't in it, give it a second chance.
Yeah, it needs to have a second chance. It needs to have more love, this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely up there, I think, as one of the best Halloween-themed horror movies ever.
Yeah, totally. It is.